Good evening and welcome to Flash. Aha! Tonight we shall be writing some flash fiction and reading it afterwards. If you would like to have some flash fiction read out on Richard Holliday's YouTube channel, then join us. All instructions will be given later on, and let me introduce our panel of flashers. On my right is a man who once scrubbed a video because his lower half was showing and he was embarrassed by it. It's Richard Holliday.
Thank you, Martin. It's nice to be here. Yes, thanks for that wonderfully annoying introduction. I'm Richard. I'm the author of Nightmare Tenant. Don't want to say any more.
We also have Bethany Votaw.
Hi. I'm happy to be here. I'm the author of Scribbles and Scrolls, a short story collection.
And Hannah, how are you doing, Hannah Palmer?
I'm good. This might be the most painfully British thing I've ever been involved in. I wrote number 47, and I have a horror novel, One Road In, coming out in the first week of September.
Ooh.
And now we will stand for the national anthem.
And now we shall burn an effigy of the Queen.
Shall we?
Someone's not a monarchist. Richard, have your flags arrived yet?
So I went to the seaside the other day because it was a nice hot sunny day, and
You do like
saw
to
some,
like
I saw some
seaside.
little flags. And I thought, shall I buy some for my background? And I kind of regret not doing that now. Instead, you get books.
That's a great background. I don't know what the problem is.
It's much better.
Yeah. I can get more flags for next time if you like.
Get like as long as you get one for every country, that would be fair.
Okay.
That's a lot of fun.
I'll start with that. I'll start with that outside, and then start at the top and work my way down the list in reverse alphabetical order.
How are your projects coming along, Richard? What's happening?
Good. So I have just finished the prequel to my novella. It's called Foundation. So if you want to be getting that, it's coming out on Monday, exclusively if you are a subscriber to my newsletter. So
Cool. That sounds expensive.
it doesn't cost you a penny. So
Blimey.
you've got nothing to lose, but do subscribe for more wonderful monthly updates from yours truly. So yeah, I would definitely recommend subscribing to that. And any of your other email addresses, so you've not just one, if you've got other email addresses you've even forgotten about, use them, the more the merrier.
That's really bad marketing advice. Don't do that.
Whatever Richard says, don't do it.
Although I do have a catch-all address, so I might just keep signing them up until Richard has to pay a premium for his service.
And you've got such a high bounce rate.
Me and Richard did actually have a bit of a squabble over the title. I was rather of the opinion that Isaac Asimov had already used it, Foundation, and that he should think of something more original.
So I put an S on the end.
There you go.
Isn't it I can't remember who sang it. Isn't it a song?
I don't know, but titles are the bane of my existence, so I
They
understand your
are
pain.
awful. Title. I don't know how people actually name chapters, because that's like using up a load of titles in one book. So what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
I just put chapter 1.
Me too.
Short
Sometimes I
story
write the word
collections.
one. Yeah.
Oh man. Sometimes my titles are super obvious. It's like, here's our main character's name. That'll do. And then sometimes I'm like, let's go super obscure that no one will understand it. There's no in between. I'll get there.
Do you find that do you ever start with the title, or is it the last thing that you come up with?
It is a solid 50-50 for short stories where it's like, like The Nightman. That's like a cool thing that I just kept calling the story. And then I was like, like that works as a title. And then other times, like the working title is Grandma in a Broken House. It was like, okay, that doesn't really work. So, Okay, dog.
I think this was Halloween Story 2019 for about 4 months until I renamed it, because that was a grossly irrepresentative title, because it was not the Halloween story from 2019. That came and went. That was a deadline, like Douglas Adams said, they just went whooshing past. And we got there in the end, didn't we?
I have no idea what I'm going to call my sci-fi trilogy. I've just been calling it Project Gibraltar.
I mean, that sounds kind of sci-fi-y.
That sounds... I think you should rock on with that, Martin.
Seems to fit.
Adam Stevenson is here.
Hey, Adam.
We love Lejeune.
I don't know how he comes up with those really weird troll names, though. He needs to put a pronunciation guide in his book. Or maybe he has, I just haven't read that far into them, who knows.
Or like a QR code or something where you can scan it with your phone and it'll just like tell you what it is.
We all have a QR code, don't we?
If anyone has any suggestions for prompts on what we can flash about, then put them in the chat now.
Legal prompts, please. Nothing that's going to get us banned.
I mean, would it be redundant to put like a grandma or something? I don't know.
Well, we all know your story's going to be about a grandma at some point, Bethany. She may or may not be naked. And probably will be, truth be told. We'll bet your
Who's
your
I don't know.
Adam
There's
loves my
lots of
shirt.
ideas.
Thank you. I'm glad to get some sartorial advice from the audience.
Should I just start typing in some
Prompts?
I almost said
Yeah, go for it.
fonts.
Fonts. Oh,
There's
geez.
fonts. It's been a day already.
That's mine and Richard's other streaming series that you'll find on Tuesdays. What the font? Oh, that's actually a thing. Bollocks.
I have to say, Martin, you really are a font of knowledge on typefaces.
They're typefaces, they're not fonts, they're different things. You can't use them interchangeably, Richard.
Oh, bless you, Martin. Don't ever change. Oh, some good suggestions we've got. What is art? That's a very good question. Broken. Ooh. That is smashing.
I am literally just saying what comes to mind, and I have a light in front of me, so like glass. What if it breaks?
Yeah.
And then I'm seeing it with my eyeballs. There's lots of things.
Existential lobsters. Yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I can definitely like about lobsters.
It just makes me hungry.
Yeah.
Makes me hungry for those.
What kind
Do you
of
have
things?
Red Lobster where you're at?
No, just the normal ones. Actually, it's really difficult
pretty
to find
sure
someone that does
we-
lobsters.
He literally must have just gone like that on the keyboard to come up with those words.
Anatharia. Well, good luck reading that.
Anathasada Kaioria. Jeez. Excuse me. Anasatharia. That sounds like a skin condition.
Kind of does.
I want a Domino's pizza, not a Mars bar. Stuck in a lift with someone you hate. I don't think there's a lift big enough for all the people I hate.
Wow.
Oh.
Gee.
I expect a QR code, Benjamin, with a pronunciation shortly. Okay.
Yeah, you can have a link to like an exclusive YouTube video.
Oh,
You
yes,
just-
yes. Make it happen.
Do they even have Twixes in America? I'm not too sure.
Yes.
Twix.
Okay, it's America. We have everything.
Yeah, but is it like Mars bars and Milky Ways where they're inverted?
What is going on?
It's got like
What are
the
they called?
cookie,
What are they called?
the caramel, and
Snickers? What are they called?
Okay, good, that's the right one.
Snickers.
They're not called marathons or something.
That's what they were called originally.
Called Snickers. Although Hannah and I did like a snack swap, and there was some delightful things that I've, will probably never get again unless I hop across the pond.
Well,
They're so
We
good.
should do it again. I do still have nightmares. I have nightmares about gushers. I really disliked them.
Really? Oh, I love
So
them.
weird.
That is not what I would name as snack food if
They're
Gosh,
like
was
these,
branding.
like squishy little fruit snacks, but there's like syrupy, sweet stuff in the middle.
Any food that explodes in your mouth does not deserve to be eaten.
so what's it
I
called?
mean-
A gusher.
Swedish fish, however,
Swedish fish are good, yeah.
you win with those.
We need to get Bethany to have some rainbow drops.
Yeah, I don't really taste of anything though.
A taste of sugar.
Yeah.
I'm
We like
literally
sugar.
going to have a list of British things that Bethany needs to try. But I know you like the Twiglets because
Those those were interesting. The I keep forgetting what they're called, but pretty much all of the chocolate was like fantastic because the chocolate here is just like flavored sugar that's colored brown. It's not actual chocolate.
Yeah, you're into chocolate.
Bounty bars. Oh, get them in the bin.
All of them. As a child, I taught myself to prefer the Bounty because it was the one that everyone left. So if I preferred it, then I got more than everyone else.
I always used to go straight to the Maltesers because they are like gold dust. The Maltesers.
Do you have nerds?
Yeah.
Oh yes, we do.
Okay.
I have not seen nerds in years. I mean,
Yeah.
apart when I'm talking to you
I mean,
guys.
like, apart from us.
Do you remember Toxic Waste sweets?
Oh, we have some of
Sour
those.
sweets.
We have like a million flavors of Pop-Tarts though. I don't know what you guys are stuck with, but we have like
I've never tried a Pop-Tart because I don't want to ruin my toaster.
No, Pop Tarts are amazing, but yeah, the UK flavors are not very good. We just have strawberry and like double chocolate, I think. And one time I saw the apple cinnamon ones, which are my absolute favorite, and I've never seen them again.
Apple cinnamon or
can make
salty
your
bit.
dreams come true so fast.
Anything with cinnamon on it, and I'm there.
I was talking
Good
to
to
someone
know.
today about push pops, which was the first time those have been mentioned in about 25 years.
Are they the ones with the whistle in them?
They're the ones that are like a lipstick, but they're a lollipop, so you could
Yeah,
get away
I got
later.
The candy
They're like
mixes.
sticky and like congealed.
Oh,
Yeah. It seemed like it should be a good thing, but then it was a bad thing.
Bad thing.
Remember the candy necklaces? They were always a good laugh.
I'm trying to think of like some obscure candy that you guys probably don't have. Because you have like Oreos and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's good. Those are my favorite.
Hey, Tom's here.
Tom,
He
Good
is a
evening.
streaming god.
do I sound like one of you lot?
Yes, that wasn't that bad. You sound a little bit Mary Poppins. That's all right.
It's that paradox of a posh cockney,
Yeah.
which
not
I guess
fun.
sums up Richard.
I don't know what you just said. It sounded like you spoke a different language. Posh Cockney. What is that?
Olives, yes.
Yes,
No.
100%. Black olives,
Yeah.
green olives, Kalamata olives.
No.
Give them to
All
me.
of them. All of
Get
the
rid of
olives.
them. They are terrible.
I love olives.
You're watching Snack Bants. Aha.
Yes.
Yes. I was like, wait, how are we going to get this?
Ben is
back?
literally describing how to get diabetes.
Oh, marzipan is so good though.
Battenberg.
I should point out that
it's
medically you can't catch diabetes by eating sugar.
Sure, one
Give
day.
it a go.
I mean, it's worth a shot. I mean, something about Battenberg cake. Do they have that in the States? Battenberg cake? Oh, it's lovely. Ooh. It's literally sponge cake stuck together with apricot jam wrapped in marzipan.
What's marzipan?
Kind of like icing, but not. It's like almondy.
It's kind of
Almond
like
goodness.
dreams.
Why do people keep
And
saying this, by the way?
Pillows. Huh?
Yeah, people
Get
seem
out,
to-
Richard.
Oh,
Richard is wrong.
Do you guys have Twizzlers?
yeah, but they're
turkey
disappointing over here.
Twizzlers.
They just taste like plastic.
Yeah, not a fan. We had turkey Twizzlers, which I think have made a comeback.
Ugh.
Oh, lovely. Chicken nuggets, turkey Twizzlers.
I love the lemonade Twizzlers. Ugh, so good.
Oh,
What?
Yeah.
No.
Because they got like this weird filling in them. They texturally are disgusting and they don't feel like they should be edible. And I'm not entirely sure they are, but they're marketed as such. And I love them.
You're really selling them.
Yes.
You may
Not
die.
saying they're going to like
Get some.
do you any favors, but I think they're worth a try.
how
So
we
is
feeling
that-
about prompts? Marcy,
So-
and it tasted like Dr. Pepper.
I like Dr. Pepper, but I'm not getting that. Anyway, how are those prompts coming?
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
Don't push me, push a push part. That sounded slightly obscene.
That feels like something from the 80s.
I quite like this one from Bethany, Grannies.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know, I just had to put that in there. It just seemed right.
existential lobsters. Is that people who've gone to the beach and aren't sure about their life choices?
Maybe. Have you seen the film The Lobster? It's pretty out there.
It's not anything like The Shape of Water, is it? Because that film was woof. That was
No, it's nothing like that, but it is weird.
It's weird, but not that kind of weird. 'Cause that was strange.
Different weird.
Hannah has put horses. I could write about horses. You know, they're different neighbours.
Uh-huh. There's lots of good ideas. Someone just got to pick one. Because are we doing your idea, Richard? Because I'm like anxious to figure out what.
So what's going to happen is we're going to pick a prompt, and then we are going to be assigned a genre by some random magical machine called the internet. So who knows what we're going to be writing? I quite like broken glass could go places.
If there's a prompt you're taken by, write it in the chat.
Yeah. Oh, there's new comments. It's not really a very good prompt.
It looks like a drowning man.
Oh, it does.
We could write about olives. We could write about a lady called Olive.
Or the colour.
What colour? What colour is an olive though? It's just like, sort of like avocado green, isn't it?
Green. Mm-hmm.
Or black.
Ugh.
Purple.
Has anyone got any thoughts on prompts? Come on, chat. Think of some nice
I was
things.
giving you gold and I feel overlooked. So
I'm
I'm
saying-
done. I'm just kidding.
That, ooh, that'd be quite good.
That seems a little existential. Like a.
Hugs go too far. Now, if I get romance, this is going to go, we all know where this is going to end.
Oh, no.
Hugs that go too far and they crush your ribcage.
I just
I know Bethany could take that really dark.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I think you
I think
made a you said, is this too dark? I'm like, there's no such thing as too dark.
No.
It's not a thing.
I just went on a random word generator, and the word I got was bowel.
Ooh.
I don't know why I got that.
I'm not going to be quick to poo-poo that too fast or anything.
Isn't that like a phrase people use for like the darkest parts of a building, like the bowels of the building?
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like the underbelly.
Yeah, you can kind of make that work.
And hire a doctor.
Good.
They're going to be wearing flared trousers.
Mm.
I think because last time we did mislabeled, didn't we? That was kind of an interesting prompt. So I think we should go for one of the random words. I kind of like broken glass.
Mm-hmm.
I like broken glass.
Shall we go with broken glass?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so the prompt is broken glass. I'm just going to edit that.
Bonus points if you get vowels in your story, just the words.
So the prompt is broken glass. So shall we now decide who is writing in what genre?
Yes, let's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really nervous about that.
So we have 5 genres up for grabs. I'll get rid of that. It's in the way of the lovely Hannah. So I think we should let the ladies go first. Who volunteers to go first to be picked?
Me.
Hannah. So you are going to get historical.
Thank God.
Okay, Bethany, do you want to go next?
Sure.
Is it
Oh.
romance?
Oh, I saw the history. Oh, darn it.
Martin, do you want to go next?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Hey!
You've got
I
your
have
own genre.
zero experience with romance. Just, I'm letting you know I'm going to try my very best. But,
And I suppose I should pick one for me, shouldn't I? I get thriller.
I'll trade you.
I think
No,
you have to re-vote. That wasn't a mandated vote.
It's an advisory vote. We vote again until we get the right answers.
Mm-hmm.
No, let's go with that one. So I'm just going to stop that there. So our prompt is broken glass. Shall we go for a sprint then? Let's just go one last chat up with chat.
Have people got ideas, or have they gonna make it up as they go along? Or
Don't worry, our stream will make you very bored, Tom, if you're not ready.
Hey. Well, okay, I have a question with the whole like genre thing. With romance, there's not really just a romance genre, right? It's usually like romantic suspense or romantic fantasy, romantic, like there's always something with it. Is there a genre that's just strictly romance?
Well, you could, go in many different directions with it. You could go for a full-on, heartfelt story, or you could go for a Mills and Boon style erotic, leave nothing to the imagination, awfulness. It's up to you.
Oh, great. I love this game.
So, shall
I'm curious what Hannah's gonna do with historical. Like, how far back you going?
Hannah's never even read historical fiction.
Wow, this might be like a window into a new world for you. Maybe you're really, really good at it.
I did study history.
What do you have? I'm so curious. Do you know what part of history you're going with, or is that still undecided?
It could go 2 ways. So, like either Salem witch trial era, because technically it's not fiction, but I like horror. Or I did recently watch Hamilton. So that,
Oh, both of those are good. I like that.
I'm trying to think how I can make a thriller with broken glass. It's kind of a little bit.
It sounds like the title of a thriller, like Peter James or something.
Yeah, it does.
I
I'm trying
like
to
it.
think. Is someone stuck behind glass? I'm trying to think if there's some kind of get stuck behind glass. They need to be rescued. They need to break the glass. I think that could be kind of an interesting one. Oh, Adam says yes.
I think that's probably to the Hamilton thing.
I think it is as well.
I think it was.
So, Martin, what are you going to write, broken glass wise?
I don't know. I was getting excited for like another genre, but now I'm stuck in my usual wheelhouse. I'm gonna have to think of something quickly.
And I'm going
I
to
I have an idea.
Okay.
It's not a very good one, but we're gonna run with it. And we're still trying to keep it true flash fiction. Like, what is your word count idea?
Well, I suppose we're just going to do what we can do in 10 minutes, aren't we?
Wait,
So
we're only
just-
getting 10 minutes, or like, are we getting two
10 minutes.
Okay, I was like, oh, we're gonna get some really weird pieces.
So broken.
Are we going to assign genres to anyone in the chat?
So, Does anyone in the chat want to have a genre assigned to them? So put in the chat who you want to tell you what genre you want to do. Who you want to tell you what genre what to do. I can't talk anymore.
Deathly silence.
Adam, what are you writing? You're not getting away with not writing. I think Adam could write a banging romance.
I think
it's really bad.
Choice of the word banging there was a bit.
Yeah. Got some innuendo going on.
Richard Holliday innuendo? Never.
That's not the kind of romance we want to be reading on the internet.
Oh my. Not that kind of party.
He's going to have a go.
Hmm.
We did have a fifth genre that's left over. Comedy. I'm writing that already, aren't I?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. We're going to have a go. Have we all fired up our blank Word documents?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to.
Wait, I forgot to use my thinking time.
Yeah.
Just thinking time. So he's going to do a romance. Tom is playing the Stardew Valley board game.
Oh, that's fun. I love that video.
It's so good. Well, if he sticks around with us in the background, he'll get to hear some flash fiction once we've squeezed it from our brainly lemons into fictional lemonade.
It's almost like you're a writer.
I'm just throwing words out there. I'll edit it later into the right order. So, shall we go for a sprint? How we feeling, chaperoonies?
You know, it's almost like you're like teetering on the edge of the bridge and you're just like, all right, I'm just gonna jump, and it's either gonna be like too far that I don't make it, or it'll be just far enough where I can like live through it. And that's kind of how I feel right now. Like I'm jumping off a bridge into an unknown depth.
Your story was someone jumping off a bridge. That's not very romantic, Bethany.
Oh yeah, well,
could be an anti-romance.
Don't all romances have some grandiose gesture that always crosses a line, but the love interest thinks it's cute? Great.
As long as it's not a police line, that's okay.
As long as it's not a what?
A police line.
Hmm?
A police line, you know, the law. As long as it's not illegal, the gesture.
Oh,
police line. Oh, I thought you said poet's line, and I was
like,
poet's line.
Unless it's like a crime romance. Is that another genre? We created a new genre
of illegal romance.
Yes.
Well,
never mind. I don't like that. Nope.
Nope.
It's like so many wrong places that
I went to a good place of like, let's have a couple do a heist. So maybe that's what I'll do. That's what I meant with crime and illegal.
Oh, maybe you could do something like Heat, but they're in love.
Like Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Oh yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, right, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Have you not seen Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Votaw.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready. Let's just jump in. Right. What's the worst that could happen?
Okay, shall I get the timer
going? Go fancy graphics.
Okay.
I'm hidden from you.
Oh, cool. These are voice activated. Nice.
Oh, no, we're losing seconds. Put it back.
Restart.
I need all the seconds I can get.
Okay. Let me uncover Hannah. There we are.
Oh, no, it's fine. You can leave me covered.
Okay. Okay, are we ready? In 3, 2, 1. Writing bots activate. think that's time.
Well,
That was interesting. I've written possibly the most plain vanilla thriller ever.
And you got your title right there.
Now I want to start again, like the ice cream theft ice thing. He was desperate for that chocolate
murder.
chip.
A plain vanilla thriller.
And I'm literally going to write that down now. An essence of murder.
I'll take 10%.
Feels quite Miss Marple.
I have a decent story, and I am shoehorning in the romance part. Like, I thought it was going to be more romantic, but then it just kind of followed one character throughout this experience. I was like, wait, I got to make it 2 characters.
Not necessarily. The narcissist. Still technically romance, right?
A bad romance.
Oh, God.
Romantic tragedy.
Too much Shakespeare.
Adam has got 214 words, which is really good. Well done.
I like how you said that's nothing. I've got 138. So if yours is nothing, then...
I've got 367, which isn't bad. I've just kind of described a car chase.
I've got 368.
Oh,
I don't have 342.
I don't know if I'll finish any.
But yeah, I kind of think there's definitely potential. It's just kind of fun to write a kind of pulpy, unliterary kind of thriller. It's kind of nice to just let it flow.
And Hannah, you never need to apologize for listening to Hamilton.
Oh, I wasn't apologising.
Is that the historical period you went for, Hannah?
No. So I did start there. I went on a very roundabout journey to get where I got. I started off there, and I was like, I've always found the French Revolution more interesting because it just is more interesting. So then I went there, and then I thought, like, I don't really like guillotines or guillotines. I prefer hangings. So then I went there instead.
If you had to pick your top 3 methods of execution, you have hangings, guillotines.
Yeah. A good Iron Maiden. Nice bit of hung, drawn and quartered.
Love that.
I didn't go there with it.
Catapult.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with a catapult.
A nice
Just
classic
flinging that out there. Burning at the stake.
Yeah, it didn't actually happen that often, but yeah.
What's that one where they put the witch in the chair and dunk her in the
river?
That's it.
Yeah, Canterbury, our nearest city, has an original witch's dunking chair on the river.
How fun.
It's not used anymore.
Exeter has a plaque to the last witch trial in Britain.
Which one?
The
The last one, I just said that. I don't understand your question.
Catch up, Richard. Oh.
In Bristol, if you were sentenced to death, you had to go from the court to the gallows, which was on top of a particularly steep hill, which just seems adding insult to injury. But the pub that served the last meals is still there.
That's really cool.
You can get some a plate of nachos for about a tenner or some other.
That would be quite high up with my last meal, to be fair. I like a nacho.
Can't go wrong with nachos.
I was going to do a whole YouTube video about it, but then I didn't.
Nacho.
Hannah, how's your hotel book going?
What? Oh, that. Yeah, it's going on.
You're basing it on a real building in Folkestone, aren't you?
Yeah. Yes, I am. It's not haunted. I'm pretty sure it's just empty. It's been empty for a couple of decades
Is
ago.
it going to be haunted in your story?
Very much so.
Doesn't everything have the potential for being haunted? So it's
Yeah.
fine.
Exactly.
Ugh, I'm excited for that. Just the concept of that just sounds so fun. But are you gonna do one road in first, or?
Yeah, one wedding is coming out first. And then I think Rhodesia is probably going to be about Christmas now.
Is it going to be Christmas Eve?
I mean, there's snow in it. That's as festive as I'm getting.
Perfect.
I'm terrible at writing festive stories, but I keep thinking, I write a short story about Halloween for Christmas, and the deadline just comes and goes. I just think I'll just write about it whenever. So, yeah, no Christmas fiction from me.
No.
I can write a Christmas romance if people would like that.
Would it be like
Well,
you know, could go anywhere. You know, Santa's got his big sack. Needs to. Oh, we don't want to go down that road, do we?
Here we are again.
I once wrote a short about Santa being shot down by pirates and had to hide on their ship so they don't find him. And then the junior pirates wanting to help him despite the captain's wishes, and included a line, "It's not mutiny, it's Christmas!"
That's
Aww,
adorable.
That's horrible.
Not finished
That sounds like something that, who is it? Aardman, the Wallace and Gromit studio would make.
Thank you, high praise indeed.
Back to Bristol.
Yes. Shall we finish what we started?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think that would be a really good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aww.
Adam has said this sounds like my jam.
Or jelly.
Jelly. Or preserve.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, shall we go for another sprint?
End it well.
I gotta get a kiss in there and some true romantic bits.
Narcissism. Just have a mirror as your second character. Sorted.
He didn't love anyone else as much as he loved himself.
Or herself, not to be assuming.
How is your autobiography coming along, Richard?
If I wrote an autobiography, it would be literally a pamphlet. Side note, the word pamphlet is a great word. It just sounds wonderful.
I've always thought of you as a right pamphlet.
I am just effervescent.
That's also a good word.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
It's my big list of good words. It's me and Natasha from the Discord. We went to university together. So we would literally spend about 3 years saying, oh, this is a good word. And I can't remember any of them because I never actually put them in a list. They're all stuck on Facebook Messenger, which, if anyone knows, the search function is terrible.
Well, it is if you forget the words you're looking for.
Yeah.
Which is why you're using it.
Yeah.
I do need it. I could literally do a whole string where I just read out these words. That's incredible. Mutiny and Christmas are not mutually exclusive. Santa and pirates. Yeah. What if Santa was a pirate? You have like reverse Santa where he just steals presents from, innocent people.
Yeah, that's called the Grinch.
Whoops.
Dr. Seuss is dead, he can't sue you.
Well, he's dead now, isn't he? Dr. Seuss. Zeus.
Thought you meant Father Christmas.
Well, considering he lives on a diet of mince pies and, was it brandy, once a year, he probably would be dead.
I'm pretty sure the rest of the time he just eats reindeer meat.
Illegal.
Tell you what, Richard, I have once actually had that on pizza.
Wow.
Ew.
It was fine, kind of bacony. I was in Scandinavia. When in Scandinavia, do as the Scandinavians do.
You didn't have to butcher the reindeer, did you? You didn't have to pick one from like a pen.
So there was a little tank at the front of a restaurant.
The fish tank of deer.
On Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer and Vixen. Now Donna, now Cupid, now you and you.
Pamphlet.
Pamphlet. Should we go for another sprint?
Yeah.
This conversation's going nowhere fast.
Okay, I'm going to put the thing on. So we are sprinting in 3, 2, 1. Oh, I'll put another everyone. It's time.
I love that.
Okay, so I got a little bit distracted looking for the list of awesome words, but I did get some done.
The list of what words?
The list of good words.
Oh,
Don't know how to help you. Do we just email it to you? Is that the deal? I just want to get it over with.
oh yeah. Are we emailing you?
When did you do it to your submission one?
Ooh, yes. And I will read out the list of awesome words.
Okay.
You have an
So we've
official
got-
email for this.
Sorry?
You have an official email for this. That's so.
I do, no expense has been spared in this, you're doing it properly. There's a cat behind Martin. And also Mrs. Martin. How did we all get on? I managed to get up to 578 words. I know how this is going to end, but I didn't have time to end it. Partly my own fault, but alas.
I don't actually know what my word count is. Let's see.
Mine's a lot shorter than that.
Mine's 516.
Not bad, not bad.
Mine's 150.
It's still good,
You said flash. You said flash.
You know what? Some microfiction.
Mini. Barely a tweet.
Twitter fiction. Fiction.
Yeah, I kind of took Hannah's advice and just kind of dealt with the romantic aspect. A lot of it can be assumed off page. I don't know. I'm not going to defend it. It's fine. It's fine.
Just fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at that cat. Did you know I'm quite allergic to cats?
Oh
You
no.
mentioned.
Yeah, like really bad. Like I had to go get a cortisol shot one time because my eyes swelled shut.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
I thoroughly enjoy what your cat is doing right now.
How did everyone in the chat do?
Yeah, how did Chatteroony do? Bethany, have you sent yours yet?
I did. Did you get it?
Let me refresh. Ooh.
Did you get it?
Oh, when is my junk? How rude.
It might go in there. It belongs in there.
So I was just thinking with myself. I'm like, it's mine just to just slide away into obscurity. It's fine. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Adam, have you sent yours in?
I don't know.
I'm waiting Adam to send his in. I'll just copy and paste mine.
I lost my little pop-out chat. How's everyone doing? Adam got 555. That's not bad.
That's good.
Not at all. Yeah.
Adam, send it in. We need it. I'm not doing article, but I'm listening back to a composition for Otso. This man has many talents.
A composition.
A composition.
What does OTSOT stand for? What should we?
Subject controls.
Oh, my bad.
Which is a lot better than our acronym for A Season of Darkness.
ASOT.
ASOT.
Now, when I do title my trilogy, I am going to want to give it something that can have a good acronym as well, which only makes things harder.
Yeah.
Just, it's fine. Scribbles and scrawls. Sass.
Oh.
How appropriate.
Sad.
I've got Nightmare Tenant is nuts.
But you now have a prequel, Nightmare Tenant Foundations. Noof.
Nuts.
Oh, I remembered. Foundations is a song. It's by Kate Nash.
Huh.
Ah.
It's in my head right now.
Nice.
Right, I'm just waiting for Adams to come through. I'll dance until it arrives, so send it quickly. He wants to end.
Richard, do you want to read your short story?
My short story. We have to do mine first.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Why not? Okay.
Yeah, this is your craziness. Wait, you got Thriller, right?
I did.
Which is also a song.
That was
It's really
similar
good.
to Thriller.
We've got a musician amongst us, so we can't go
It's
too
not me.
crazy.
It's not me. I'm just waiting for Adam's piece to pop through.
Adam, is it in your junk again?
No, my junk hasn't gone up.
That's so weird that it sent it to that. Because it's your own email. Like,
Well, it's whoever's sending whatever to it, I suppose.
huh.
It actually just redirects to my main inbox.
Which is what? What do you use?
Outlook.
That's why Outlook's crap.
Well,
It puts anything and everything. in
we use
spam.
Gmail at work, and I honestly want to shove my head through a plate glass window every time I have to use emails.
I feel the same about Microsoft.
But Leslie Note
It's- it's-
recommends
it's-
Gmail in
it's
her
not funny.
webinar.
How you don't know you're going to miss something until you don't have it anymore. We're like that with Outlook at work.
All right, let's just take it all back. Do you guys know what zines are or zines?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's start doing that. We'll just send each other zines. Zines?
I meant
Heard
to
it?
do one like a year ago, and I still haven't done it.
Ah.
Didn't
Oh,
you
yeah, I
send
sent
one,
you
Bethany?
one.
Yeah.
So
Mrs.
I'll
Lejeune
make
is
one.
a
I'm gonna send it to y'all.
I'm going to do it at the weekend. I'm going to make one, and I'm going to do it at the weekend.
Adam,
Me
your
too,
email
I'll
hasn't
vlog
come
it.
through.
Yeah.
Mrs.
cool.
Lejeune is a successful zine publisher of yesteryear. I once sat in at the Bristol Comic and Zine Fair for her. Sat next to a guy and said, "Oh, what have you done?" He's like, "Oh, it's a comic about having this chronic illness, but it's good."
Okay. That's awesome. No, we could just make little weird zines and write our flash fiction in it, and then
I wrote
Yeah.
the piece of Flash for it. I've got the thing written. I just never actually made it into a zine.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just chaos. It's like chaotic scrapbooking and taping, and then bam, you got it.
That's our prompt for next time: chaotic scrapbooking.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Like a murder in like a women's institution or something.
Yes. There's murder over the Victoria Rings.
I was thinking of like a granny, like in Mean Girls, they have like that burn book or whatever, but it's gonna be like of the care home.
Oh no, that's so cute.
Right.
Just want
Shall we make a start while we're waiting for this email from Adam to pop through?
Mm-hmm.
take it away.
Okay, shall I share the screen?
Yes.
I think it's wonderful idea. Hang on. Ooh. Let's zoom in on that.
Fancy.
So this is very much the vestigial beginnings of an idea.
Don't defend it, just read it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, hidden Hannah again.
It's fine.
Remember, if you redraft it, it's not Flash.
Yeah, remember, no edits allowed. Let me just get that today.
No editing. We die like men.
How's that? Right, okay. This is the piece by me, read by me. In the distance, the sirens blared through the city. They were blocks away, not close enough to stop him. He looked down to his phone. No signal. Typical. But somehow the message persisted. If I break the glass, your family dies. Tell me what I want to know. He threw the phone onto the passenger seat and pressed down on the accelerator with his bloody foot. The fluid was sticky and warm. The man whose throat it had come from was long dead and cold. The engine of the car roared. In the boot, a heavy item thudded as the car careened around a corner, the tyres screeching. Good thing the roads were dead at this time of night. They weren't going to catch him. He'd hoped that what the car carried was enough. Nearer, on the back seat, in front of the thudding from the boot, a groan. You did well, he said to the immobile captive sprawled on the back seat. Muffled groan sank into the leather. He wiggled the wheel and the car danced on the asphalt enough to send the passenger moving. The gag dampened a scream. The white bone was poking from the man's leg, and it had just tapped the back of the seat and sent fire down the remains of the captive's leg. It's just a shame I had to do that to you, just in case. The captive spat out his gag. Orson will kill you, and all of them. You won't get them back. Neither will he save you. You failed, the driver spat, not even glancing into the mirror. The tyres squealed as the car went round a bend. Then the brakes screamed. The doors opened. The engine left running. Opening the boot, he took the aluminium case and the torch next to it. Leaving the tailgate wide open to catch the night air, he walked into the gloom. The torch illuminated a disc of light, 3 inches wide with a murky yellow light. The Duracell bunny had left for home a long time ago. But all it needed to do was see him into the factory, through a door you'd not know about, even if you stared at it. The door opened, but not easily. Inside, the lights came on one by one with the click of a great big switch. I see you came, a voice in a dark corner that refused to be illuminated. A glow came. He stepped closer. Of course. Are you a man of your word? It depends on the words you have for me. You know, this is totally preposterous. The sirens got closer outside. Really? All for this? He held up the case. He shook it. The contents rattled. Careful, the voice hissed, and the glow of the cigarette moved up, then descended to the ground to die. If you've not brought the recipe intact, do you think I'd be that stupid? Car doors opened and closed outside. 6 policemen stormed into the abandoned factory and held the man. Freeze! Stop right there. Easy, easy, the voice from the darkness soothed. He's brought us the secrets we crave. The case, please. One of the officers took the aluminium case from him, pushing him to the ground. And he's got notes of what I want to put in afterwards. What do we think?
Oh,
Ooh.
I like it.
I like your bullet points at the end. It's like when you're at school and you run out of time to write a conclusion.
Exactly.
So where were you going with that?
Well, I did kind of want to go with the whole. It's like some sort of recipe, so kind of taking it not too seriously. It's maybe the recipe for the vanilla or something. I kind of like that kind of almost whimsical idea, but yeah, I kind of want the whole idea is he's turned up with a fake case. It's full of like noxious gas that knocks out all the baddies, and meanwhile he sacrifices himself so the family they've captured can be rescued by a friend or something like that.
I like it.
So I kind of like to want to like twist it at the end that it's not actually quite as cut and sharp as we may think. But yeah, I think that's kind of like a go as an idea. I'm definitely going to be developing this more in the future. It's kind of got the noggin jogging a little bit, which is good.
The beginning reminded me, I can't remember who it's by, but there's a poem we studied at school about a man that picks up hitchhikers and then murders them. It reminded me of that.
Love that.
Yeah.
School's good.
So we're looking for Adam's.
I think he's having trouble finding it.
Here, let's see if I can.
Right.
Do you want my actual email? I'll fill the WhatsApp.
Well, I've just put it in the chat. Submissions. Thingy.
Oh, I did too. Look at us go.
So, shall we do the next one, which is the lovely Martin Lejeune.
Who's
Sounds
that guy?
like
Yeah.
fun.
Martin gets his banners up.
Oh, this is so professional.
I've learned all this from the lovely Barrett Laurie. He does a really good job in his live stream, so I'm trying to emulate his professionalism. It's really tough to present and manage at the same time, but you know we do our best, don't we? Martin, when you're ready in the old China.
Yeah, what a good job you've done on all the graphics, Richard. Well done, you.
I love that Martin's cat is just going to sit there judging.
Hey, Martin, when you're ready.
I don't know if you notice, he holds up like a number for each story.
A little paddle.
Doc Kelso smiled widely as the Tesla coil spat electricity across his lab. The glass sat on the experiment table as he focused the energy and directed it straight at it. If this worked, it could change everything, end the war, make a name for him. He would be remembered as the greatest scientist the world had ever known. He would show the Kaiser and his minions that they were no match. Then he heard the smash, followed by the shattering, and the tinkle-tinkle as more glass fell to the floor and melt more pieces than Kelso had had hot meals. His heart sank. It was over. They would never know his name. He would never have songs written about him now. He walked across the lab and went to pick up a broom to clear up the mess, but when he returned, there it was. The glass was where it had been in a single piece, no mess to be seen. Why? Kelso screamed. Why am I here? The glass asked of him. Kelso stepped back and away to the other side of the table where his tools were sorted neatly. His back knocking into one of the coils, almost knocking it over, which would have been a disaster. Can you not hear me? The glass repeated. Sweat dampened Kelso's brow. Whatever this thing was, it was stuck down here in the bowels of the building. He could still contain it. Reaching down, he picked up a spanner and chucked it at it. Again, the glass shattered into 1,000 pieces. He made for the door. That really hurts. Please stop it. What? Kelso asked in a whisper. You can hear me, the glass squealed in delight. That makes sense. You have those big sound receptacles on the side of your head after all. Kelso flinched. He had always been embarrassed by his oversized ears. What are you? He asked it. Isn't it obvious? I'm sentient glass. Can you tell the future? Yes, but I won't, he said. Nah, I'm kidding. I can't do that at all. Kelso was even more perplexed than before, which had determined was reasonable. He ran round the lab and used various tools to take readings. The glass was not radioactive, which he found particularly reassuring. How can I use you as a weapon? Kelso asked the glass. A weapon? I don't want to be a weapon, the glass replied, sounding quite distressed at the prospect. Look, what powers do you have? Other than being sentient glass, you bloody ingrate. Kelso thought about this, and quickly he needed something to show the army brass. His funding depended on it. If he didn't show results, he would be taken to the trenches himself. His cousin had kept his position safe whilst he could, but his cousin's platoon was taken out last month, and now he was on his own. Can you tell me who the fairest of them all is, at least? Kelso pleaded. Okay, 2 roads after Sutton High Street, green door, second on the left, that's where you'll find them. Bloody gorgeous. Seriously, all over Insta. Insta? Like I said, I can see the future. You said you couldn't. I lied. What happens in the future? You don't want to know, the glass told him, do you? What if you lose? What if you win? But you die in the fighting. What if I kill you in the next hour? Ruins the surprise, surely. Do you? Asked Kelso. He was worried at prospect, but secretly longed for a prolonged sense of panic that had been with him for every waking moment of the last several years to be over. Nah, mate, he does, replied the glass, as a shadowy figure appeared on its surface, getting ever closer until one of the Kaiser's men materialized in the lab and opened fire. Kelso fell to his knees, realizing that none of this had been his work at all. All this was for nothing. All for naught, he bemoaned. Of course not, the glass cooed. We wouldn't have gone to such lengths if you hadn't been the one who could have defeated us.
Ooh.
Oh, that was good.
That's some proper Douglas Adams vibes.
Oh, I liked that. Oh, that like
like
long
Douglas.
drawn out and then punchy end.
You're far too kind.
That was fun. That's good.
Yeah.
Good tasting Adams in. We received Adams' piece, which is really good. So the neck, yeah, that was really good, Marty. I think I kind of got from the glass that kept, unbreaking and stuff. I kept thinking of Fantasia, where it's the broom that you smash it out with the axe that keeps duplicating. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I had more of a like Cassandra from Doctor Who, but glass instead.
Yeah.
Mixed with some Douglas Adams.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no.
It mainly came from panic and a timer, to be honest.
Yeah.
Great things happen under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So
Who's next, Richard?
The next is the inimitable
Get off that computer.
Inimitable. Look at the size of mine compared to everyone else. I wrote a poem.
I can put Hannah's graphics up. Take it away, Hannah.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
Her worn leather shoes brushed the floor, pointed, delicate, on point, ballerina-esque. They swayed gently with the momentum the jolt had earlier sent through her torso, the tips of her toes scraping through the shards of broken glass. They'd be taken from her later down the line, removed, cleaned, sold, probably. It didn't matter to her anymore. It didn't matter that they'd unceremoniously strip the clothes from her barely cold body, scrub them in the river, and get less than the fabric's worth in shillings for them. None of that mattered anymore. Her legs hung from her body, pulling on the final fibres of her life, in between the base of her skull and her neck, pulling and stretching and snap. The final staccato note as her delicately pointed feet hit the shards. The last noise she would hear, but not the last noise she would remember.
Ooh.
Ooh, creepy.
So it wasn't meant to be horror.
Yes.
It was sort of about, I just Googled the last woman to be hanged in the UK publicly. So it's about her.
The like imagery though, it just sent shivers up my spine because it's like you wrote such a beautiful, your prose is so beautiful, and then we get this like harsh, sad image. It was the juxtaposition of both of those that made it work.
Hannah, did you write the last line first?
No, I wrote the first line first.
I think that's kind of like that's almost like a Bethany thing where she writes the last image that she wants to arrive, and then the story kind of goes backwards. It's really good. But yeah, that was punchy. Yeah, there's some really good words in there.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Not pamphlet though.
it's good. Yeah, well done.
All while you were listening to Hamilton.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Ooh.
So it is now time for the Votaw's story.
Hello.
Bethany's going to be Hannah's out. Ooh,
All right.
are you ready?
Here we go. I aimed the kitchen steak knife straight at the left eye and hashed at it, slashed it, and tore it to pieces. Then I worked on the right, then the face, and when the canvas was a heaping mess of fabric and paint at my feet and a bare frame in front of me, I dropped the knife. It didn't help. I found no reprieve in the closet. The anxiety clawed at me, tearing me apart from the inside. They watched me, and the worst part was knowing I deserved it. Their eyes followed me, and I couldn't escape them. When I found my resolve, which I admit was not much, I trudged down into the living room where my walls continued to glower at me. This was back when people had art. Woman with a parrot stared at me with her knowing face. Woman of Frankfurt followed me. The young bather wept for me. Head of little girl invaded my dreams. Gustave Courbet mocks me with his timeless brush. Eugene Delacroix laughs at me. Paula Malderson Becker cut my skin. These paintings are alive. I pulled the only book from my shelf and opened it. The first newspaper article fell out. This was back when people used newspapers. The Met has been robbed. This was back when people went to museums. Late last night, a burglar infiltrated the gallery and stole precious oil paintings from various artists. This was back when art was valued. The thief managed to break the unshatterable and unbreakable glass. This was back when unbreakable could still be broken. Unfortunately, 2 night guards were in the vicinity when the glass erupted. They went in for reconstructive surgery, but the prognosis does not look good. It is unlikely they will regain their sight due to the glass damage. And this is why they stared at me. They knew what I'd done, and one of the night guards slept in her bed. I was supposed to take her with me. She was my inside woman. She was the one who made it all possible. But I'd left her. There was nothing else I could do. Her eyes ran red, and the blood coated her face and lips, making a grotesque lipstick. It was the last time I'd see her. I sold a few pieces, but the rest floated around my apartment, following me where I went. Why portraits? I couldn't have taken flowers or abstract? Why did I choose the one with eyes? But what if I couldn't see them? I picked up the steak knife from the scraps of torn canvas. It had been Young Lady in 1866 by Edward Manet. Now it was shreds. I pointed the knife at my own eye. It made sense, right? If I couldn't see the eyes, they could no longer torment me. I'd only have that image of sweet Sarah and her bloody eyes, but that image would fade too. It was the first smile I'd managed since the robbery. It was a bright smile that finally reached my eyes. Ta-da.
I like it.
That's dark.
That
Hey,
really
it was
cool.
romance! I don't know. This was
I mean, there were no naked grandmas in it, so
yeah, what a win. I know.
It was interesting. That was really
I liked it. It kind of reminded me of, have you seen Velvet Buzzsaw, the film? It's a kind of about, I think it's about an art collector, and it's really weird.
The
And
film
really cool.
I was thinking of was the Mr. Bean film where he goes to America and works in that art gallery. And he sneezes on the picture.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was kind of thinking like the whole picture of Dorian Gray. How he was like so in love with himself, and it like created this like chaos. But then I needed like guilt to eat him alive, and so his.
It's really good.
It almost was a retelling of that in a way.
Bethany, you should keep that for your next collection.
My next creepy collection.
That was
Yeah, I
really
will.
good.
Maybe next year we'll have another creepy collection. And yeah, I liked it. The romance really threw me for a loop because I genuinely tried to evoke some different emotions, and clearly they didn't come through. That's something I struggle with. I think I need to like practice branching out into different genres just so I can have another way of trying to improve my writing style, because I felt like a fish out of water and it still didn't come across very romance-like.
I don't think I could do
He's
romance.
seen it. He's seen it.
Being the movie, haven't seen it.
Mm-mm. Mhm.
And Martin said, please watch the language. So the question is, we've got one submission from the audience, from the lovely Adam. Who does he want to read it?
Oh, the suspense.
It's like this awkward like lag between StreamYard and YouTube that we just like
Yeah.
have like an extra 5 to 10 seconds. So we're just here waiting. What do you mean watch the language?
It's what
Martin.
language? There wasn't anything untoward in there.
He said, being the movie. Ugh.
Oh, gotcha. That's acceptable.
Oh dear, I've been drafted.
Go, Mr.
That'll learn ya.
Holiday.
Okay. So I'm reading Broken Glass by Adam Stevenson. Broken glass, she screamed. The woman was attractive. Even a blind man would agree, although not on that performance. That didn't matter, as Clapton said. She had it in all the places. Big hair, legs for days, killer smile. I grabbed my drink from the bar and took a big gulp and turned towards her. Darkness forced me back. So did the usual screaming, adoring fans and laser that pierced through, trying desperately in vain to make a triangle or prism. I wiped my forehead with the back of my hands. The damn thing almost slid off before it reached the other end. This place was too hot, I wasn't accustomed. It had been months. It was this dive bar with the warm bourbon, bad lighting and loud music. I watched as she high-fived and laughed towards the bar. If this was hell, she was the angel that would be my salvation. So you're going to talk to her then, came the voice of the peppy barmaid Laura. Odd name in this place, but homely and plain like her smile. I nodded. Well, good luck, and don't throw away your shot, we said together and smiled. She leaned on the bar towards me. Her short black hair wobbled. She was petite, proper and kind. You know, she continued, severed limb once and the next day saw him on the A train. I drained my drink. She looked away and put her hand on her chest. Have I told you that story before? I smiled. Only the night we met, I said. The angel maid was now at the bar, looking radiant as ever. Laura mouthed good luck before darting away to serve another frat boy. I made my move. I checked myself on the mirror behind the bar. My stomach hurt, my bowels could give way at any moment. I closed my eyes and breathed in the smell of sweet stale beer and the musk of men. They held firm. I was next to her now, a few inches from heaven. She was chucking down a bud. I hit her with Lionel Richie. Hello, I said. Fuck off, she yelled, then turned and disappeared into the crowd. I tripped. My legs fell in like an accordion. Somehow I managed to find a stool at the bar and sit down. And just like that, it was over. 3 nights a week for a year. Coming to this hole with the warm booze, loud music, sticky floor, and shitty laser show. For a fuck off and nothing else. I leaned into the bar with my elbows. A sigh of deflation escaped my lips. Think fast, said Laura. She leaned in and kissed me deep and hard. I went to pull away, but she put her hand around my neck, and I relaxed into the kiss. She pulled away, leaving her forehead on mine, breathing softly. I may have just lost my job over that, but I don't care. I love you. My body was shaking. I went to talk, but no words formed. At that moment, I saw in a new light. I saw her kindness, her beauty, her blue eyes. In New York, you can be a new man. Fuck that. Be my man, she said. That night, the bar earned a new angel.
That was really good.
That's cute.
I liked the dialogue at the beginning where they were finishing each other's sandwiches.
Yeah, that's sweet. And an atmosphere as well.
Mm.
It wasn't too sort of lovey-dovey. It was actually kind of like gritty, but yeah, no, that's pretty well done.
It felt rom-commy. I would also like to talk about your pronunciation of the word forehead.
Forehead.
No. No, it's forehead.
That's me told then. Yeah, no, it was a really good little piece, actually, isn't it? So I'm guessing that was romance. That was good. Yeah, I quite like that.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, no, well
You
done.
should build it out. I liked the chemistry.
Yeah, and it came from where we didn't expect it. You know, he was obviously after this other one, and she wasn't interested. But yeah, no, well done.
Snaps.
Super. I hated it till Richard read it out, and then he hated it even more.
No.
No, it was really good. Well done. And
Very
thanks
well
again
done.
for
That's
submitting.
very good.
It's very
Kind of
atmospheric.
Yeah,
Yeah, it definitely had distinct vibes to it.
yeah. I'm glad there was no actual song lyrics in there for me to sing. That would have been quite disastrous. But yeah, no, that was really good. Well done. Oh, that was fun.
That was good fun.
Adam says thanks. And smiley face. So I think that was good fun, wasn't it?
It was.
Wasn't
I
it just?
honestly didn't mind the genre thing. I thought I was gonna hate it a lot more, but
I thought it was really interesting. I mean,
we weren't too serious with it, which helped.
no,
Stretch it.
Yeah.
I thought that worked out pretty well.
How fun.
Yeah, a little bit fun. It's good to write
Flash
a
on
bit
a
of flash.
Friday. Look at all of us flashing together.
Can't go wrong with a subgenre that comes with its own coat.
I think you said about doing zines. I usually keep the flashes for my newsletter. I try to include some flash in my newsletter.
Right.
I love that you printed that out so much.
That makes me happy. Yeah.
I'm only
Can I
sad
just
that it's not in papyrus.
I could do it in a variety of fonts.
Laminate it, you know. Put it on like a little
I do
stick.
need to laminate. That's a really good idea. So I have it on my standby. Yeah, no, it's always fun to write a bit of flash. I mean, I'm trying to get into it a bit more. I think, Bethany, you read a flash of mine recently, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah, it took me forever to get to it. I am so sorry,
Yeah,
but I wanted
that's
to give
fine.
it my full attention.
I think
Yeah.
you sent me comments that I didn't ask for. I thought, oh, you didn't have to do that. That's so lovely.
Oh yeah, no, if someone sends me something, like I'm gonna like make some notes and comments on it.
Yeah.
It just might take me a while because I want to sit down and not be interrupted, which is such a hard thing. And I don't even have like kids or nephews around. Like,
You have a dog, though. That's enough.
yeah, he's sleeping on the couch finally.
Yeah, that's
No, it's good fun. I think definitely something I'm gonna keep doing every now and again. This helps out in this sort of community.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
It's sometimes weird when you're like, I'm gonna write a story that will probably never see the light of day, but I'm just doing it to practice because people don't think you need to practice writing. And so when you're doing it with people, it's a lot more fun.
Yeah. No, I think it worked really well.
agreed.
I think a lot of people just seem to worry, oh, everything I write has to be sort of published or publishable. But no, you can just write stuff for yourself, even if it never sees the light of day. Just go for like a little literally a writing sprint or a jog, or just practicing. And sometimes it's just fun to throw ideas on the page and see what happens.
Oh yeah. I have a folder of graveyard stories where it's like, this might have worked, but it didn't, and that's okay.
Me too.
I've still got the one from the previous episode of this, the mislabeled one. I've kind of developed that into a full short story. Well, knowing me, it's going to become a novella, because we all know how me and Richard doesn't do short things. And I'm kind of working on it. It's just kind of fun to have like a not big project writing thing to do. So I've just finished this bloody prequel. I have to say, as much as I've enjoyed writing Nightmare Tenant and Foundations, I do want to take a big, long break from writing about tower blocks.
Fair enough. What do you think you're going to do after?
I'm going to write a story set on a desert island that everyone tells me sounds like Lost, but it isn't, because I've never seen Lost.
Are there polar bears in it?
No. Not yet, anyway.
Sounds like Lost.
Well, we shall see. If it doesn't go anywhere, I'm just going to write it. Just to literally write about a little different setting is going to be kind of nice.
Oh yeah, definitely. Do it.
Because Martin, you've been writing about spaceships for
Yes.
and yonks, haven't you?
And I probably will be for the foreseeable. Hooray!
Yippee!
It's like, seemed like a good idea, but then you're like, and in this scene they're just sitting in the cockpit pressing buttons again. How do I make this different?
Got it.
But about to start book 3. I'm taking a couple of weeks off because I'm traveling this week, and then I'm gonna crack on with book 3, which got a pretty decent style to each book, so they're quite distinct whilst being part of a larger series, so hopefully that'll work. I mean, they could all be terrible, so that's always a risk, but then you just go back to make them better.
Yeah.
Good. Love it.
So Bethany, what's next for you? How is Tracker doing?
Tracker is done, and it is going to come out in November. I'm currently working on the prequel. Yeah, Tracker's been done for like over a year. There's a story with that. Mostly I was a chicken, so it's been done, and I'm just writing the prequel. I'm hoping to have that out in October or September for free for my newsletter people.
So it's going to be like a reader magnet.
Yeah, and I might put it up for purchase later on, but I think for at least when I publish it for several months, it'll just be for my newsletter subscribers.
I kind of feel with a reader magnet, you've got to put even more effort in than usual. This is the thing you're kind of trying to tempt people in with. So I've kind of been with foundations, is trying to kind of treat it like a normal project. Yeah, I mean, I've got it, it's got a cover. I'm trying not to sort of overthink it. I'm just going to treat it like I would a normal project and not get too hung up about it being, it has to be the best thing ever. But, you know, I can always write another reader magnet a year down the road. You know, it doesn't have to be a permanent one. But
that's kind of what I'm thinking. I definitely tried to make it way more complicated than it had to be, and that's why the first 2 attempts just didn't work. So I really simplified it, and it's for the best. And so it'll be just snappy, quick, fast paced, and hopefully as good as Tracker. But I don't think it'll be my reader magnet for more than a year. I'll probably release a collection or 2 for a reader magnet, or pull scribbles and have that, or maybe even Tracker. But I do have some other collections in the works. I would love for that to be like my big gig where like I release a couple collections a year, but that could take a while because there's not a huge market for that, but I'm going to find it.
I think that's a really good idea. I think definitely from what I've been thinking about, your reader magnet doesn't have to be permanent. I think as you evolve, as time goes on, you want to be revising that to sort of show people your new offering. I think if you're not learning all the time, you're not doing it right, really. So yeah, definitely. That's a really good idea.
I actually wrote a reader magnet as the first thing I did on this project, and it was a really great way to sort of dip my toes in the universe and get it all figured out. And completely unusable as a reader magnet. But now I've got the books, I'm going back to sort of make it about a different character and just make it fit in with everything that's come after much better.
So how long should a reader magnet really be? Because Foundation is about 21,000 words. Because we know Richard doesn't do concision, he doesn't do short, he doesn't do snappy. I think that's kind of like the good middle ground.
I think the rule of thumb is at least sort of 9,000-10,000 words.
Yeah, you don't want it shorter, you're not really giving too much away, but yeah, I think it'll be good. I don't know whether to do exclusive print copies for me to give away to people. Everyone loves scarcity, don't they?
You could always put the print copy up for sale, but if you want it, you can
I'm kind
get
of thinking maybe the ebook will be for sale, but if you want to get it for free, sign up to my newsletter, which everyone should be doing right now. So we shall see. So Hammy, you've got one road in coming in quite soon, and then you've got. That's going to be really good because number 47 was really good. I really enjoyed that.
Thanks.
Yeah,
and you can read it without reading numbers 1 through 46, which is wonderful.
Yeah,
so convenient.
When I thought of number 47, I just think, is that the catch-up number? But that's 57.
Yeah, that's 57. Yeah.
57 varieties. So you've got to work your way out. But yeah, no, that's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
And then it's starting all over again, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. Looking forward to actually having finished Rhodesia Hotel, because the next thing I want to write is set in like a sort of few hundred years time futuristic London, so it's totally different. So different.
Good to try something new. Adam has put, have you guys heard of the 5K a day, 5-day challenge? I haven't. That does sound very horrifying.
5 to 25.
It does sound doable, to be fair. It does sound doable.
Probably what I'm going to have to do with the stupid prequel, because I just need to get my button gear and get it done.
Get it out there.
Yeah.
And these comments for you from Ben.
Very good.
On the subject of trolls.
No, I'm excited for your future projects, Hannah. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking of that piece of Flash in A Season of Darkness where you did. It was kind of like futuristic and whatnot. I'd love to see more of that style come out.
Well, the first thing I ever wrote was sci-fi, so I kind of want to lean back into that and see where that goes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd like to see how you apply your writing style to sort of sci-fi or like sci-fi. I'd be up for reading that.
I have a really random story. I think it's on. Is it called Inkit? This weird like story website. From back
What pad was it? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I never used Wattpad.
No, me neither. I knew it existed, but I think I briefly posted some stuff on the Scribid, and that was a thing. Now you have to pay for that, I think, so I'm not doing that. But I think, all goes on my website at the moment. But yeah, no, I'm excited to get the prequel. I'm actually thinking, I don't really want to call it a prequel, I want to call it a precursor. There's something about the word prequel just seems a bit Hollywood. I don't know. Maybe just being arty-farty and snobby like that, but who knows? I'm just going to get it out.
Rich has a unique ability to look at his work and go, how can I make this less appealing to the readers?
I need someone to do my marketing for me. You're offering?
Yeah, I've sent you my rates card.
Yeah. I put it in a phone box.
What's a phone box, Grandad?
An internet kiosk, then.
An internet kiosk?
You've got internet kiosks that are shaped like phone boxes. Have you not seen them?
No.
Next time I see one, we'll take a photo.
Okay.
Got nothing, sorry.
Well, I think that rather wraps up a rather splendid evening of flashing. Don't you think?
It does.
It was a pleasure flashing with you all. Let's do it again.
Stay together.
Good fun. Had quite all. Always nice.
Thank you to everyone who joined in the chat and who watched along, and we shall see
we
you
did quite
next
well
time
in
for
the
more Flash. Aha!
So, any final words from anyone here? On the source, the HP source, the brown source.
Yeah.
Did anyone used to have that fruity sauce they used to do? Fruity brown sauce. It was bloody lovely, that was. I'll just send Bethany a bottle of it and say, drink it, neat.
Ew.
No.
No.
Oh, Sam's here. Hello. You'll have to watch the replay for the Flash. But thanks for popping along. And now he's got lots of real stuff going on at the moment. We had lots of fun, so hopefully the audience had fun. If you just tuned in, do go and watch the replay and, listen to some, Flash being forged in the fiery pits of creativity.
And if you click around on this channel, you can find young Richard playing Tomb Raider.
Can you really?
You can find young Richard getting peed off with that bloody Tomb Raider game. My Lara Croft was so inept. There's just no other word for it. So you may also find an audio book for my short story Oranges and Lemons that I published 8 years ago. So if you fancy a bit of that, check it out. It's worth doing. And you can also find other live streams that I've been in, unfortunately. I remember we had lots of fun on the Nightmare Tenant launch party. Me, Martin and Hannah had good fun there. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining. It's been fun. So any last words from our lovely ladies?
No.
Nah, what you see is what you get with us.
Too much.